Over 100 Esikhawini residents near Richards Bay in the KwaZulu-Natal north coast have been forced to flee their homes as heavy rains continue. Most people have been seeking temporary shelter at the community hall. For more, we're now joined by senior forecaster at the South African Weather Service, Venetia Phakula. Thank you so much indeed for joining us. Welcome to the program.
Thank you so much for having me, and good evening to the viewers as well.
Last week, we spoke to one of your colleagues, Elizabeth Webster, talking about what they thought we might see this weekend. Is what we saw what you thought would come, or was it worse?
It's what we thought would come, and we even issued a impact-based level 10 to show that we were confident, and even the models that we were using, they were confident in what we expected to come. And yes, it did happen. And let me just elaborate on the level 10. The level 10, it indicates even the wide, that we were expecting the damage to be widespread. But we went with a level 10 because we saw the impact that the initial rainfall had. So we went with a level 10 so that at least people who were impacted, and we knew that they will be impacted even more because they were still under the process of recovery. They haven't recovered yet. So having that in mind, we knew that the impact was going to be slightly more than what would normally have happened had that initial incident impact not have happened before this one.
I suppose having this foreknowledge helps in planning. Do you think that lives were saved because of warnings such as yours?
I honestly do think so, and I think because of the impact we had previously, it was still fresh in people's mind. And when the next alert came out, they were able to respond because that first alert was still fresh in their mind. Even disaster management, they were also able to respond because they knew that a response needed to happen as efficiently as possible because people have already been impacted and they are still undergoing recovery. So to avoid any more damages, but most importantly, loss of lives, response had to be as swiftly and as speedily as possible.
So what is the situation on the ground now, and what are you forecasting for the next few days?
I'll talk more about what we are forecasting on the ground. That will have to be done by people who are more closer to the KZN area, as I'm sitting in Pretoria at the moment. But what we are forecasting going forward, tomorrow we're not expecting any rain. At least for the next 7 days, we're not seeing any severe rain coming anywhere closer to KZN. I was looking at the models. There's a bit of light rain they might see maybe around day 5, but otherwise there's nothing much expected for most of the country, in fact, for the next 7 days.
All right, so this is the second system that we've seen in a short space of time. Can we expect more? Is it the season for this kind of weather?
It is the season for this kind of weather, but the impact and the amount of rainfall that we are experiencing are slightly more than we would normally have. There was a group of scientists that even did a study to see if whether this is related to climate change, and according to their findings, this is this event, not this one in particular, but the previous one, they did a bit of research and their findings are showing that these incidents are now being connected to climate change. So we see even in the amount of rainfall that we are getting that there is a connection to climate change.
All right, so I suppose we have to fasten our seatbelts going forward. And the damage just gives us an idea of just how powerful these systems are, and that they shouldn't be underestimated.
Yes, that is so true. And it shows that moving forward, we need to work very swiftly with disaster management. We need to work very swiftly with the public. We need to work with the media to get the alerts out there. And we need to educate the public as well that when an alert is issued, they need to respond to that alert. I think moving forward, education is very important, especially in informal settlement, where you find that when people are being asked to move away because of imminent danger upon them, they tend to refuse because they might think if they move, they might not be able to come back. So we need to start educating people of the importance of responding to such alerts.
Venetia Phakula, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. That's a senior forecaster at the South African Weather Service saying that, these are critical times for us, and this forecasting helps us to prepare better, but very importantly that we educate our citizens that just as they think that it might be safe to go back, one needs to be very careful because we're starting to see some of the consequences of repeat weather systems of this magnitude and this size.